In the beginning, creation was not a random burst of chaos. It was a masterpiece of divine intention, an unfolding of order, symmetry, and law, emerging from the very word of God. Every atom, every star, every heartbeat was tuned to the silent rhythm of a creator's will. The book of Genesis does not simply tell us that the world was made. It reveals that the world was ordered. This order is not merely physical. It is spiritual, moral, and purposeful. It is the invisible architecture behind the visible world, the harmony that binds light and darkness, earth and sky, male and female, life and death. To perceive it is to glimpse the mind of God Himself. Before anything existed, there was design. And God said, "Let there be." With each divine utterance, chaos gave way to structure. Light was separated from darkness, waters divided, land distinguished from sea. The act of separation itself is the act of order. It is the Creator drawing boundaries so that beauty and life can flourish within them. Science now echoes this ancient truth. The universe, from quantum fields to galaxies, operates through precise mathematical constants. Gravity, electromagnetism, nuclear forces, all obey laws so stable that the cosmos could endure billions of years without collapse. The very predictability of nature is an expression of the divine logos, the word that sustains all things. Every natural law we study is a revelation of a deeper lawgiver. The orbits of the planets, the cycles of seasons, the double helix of DNA. They are not random inventions of matter, but reflections of a rational and moral mind. The order of creation is a mirror through which humanity may see the wisdom of God. Order is not uniformity. The divine pattern unfolds through distinction, by setting one thing apart from another. There is day and night, heaven and earth, sea and land, creature and creator. Even within life itself, distinction defines purpose. The bird is made for the sky, the fish for the water, and man for dominion and stewardship. In this divine hierarchy, man and woman are not equal in sameness, but in purpose. The man was formed first, to cultivate and guard the garden. The woman was formed from his side, not his head to rule over him, nor his feet to be trampled under him, but from his rib, close to his heart, to be loved and protected. The order of creation thus establishes both difference and harmony, a sacred dance between strength and gentleness, authority and nurture. When modern culture blurs these distinctions, it blurs the image of God reflected in them. For the divine order was never meant to enslave, but to reveal. Man and woman together form the complete image of the Creator, just as light and shadow together form the full picture of the world. Beyond humanity, the same sacred order governs every living system. The bee and the flower, the predator and the prey, the forest and the river, all form a web of interdependence, perfectly balanced to sustain life. Even decay and death, terrifying as they may seem, are part of this great harmony, turning dust into the soil of rebirth. In our scientific age, we call this ecology. In divine terms, it is providence. Every ecosystem is a reflection of divine intelligence, not a machine, but a living symphony. Nothing exists for itself. Everything exists in relation to something else. God saw that it was good, not because each part was perfect alone, but because all together formed one living organism, the creation. The cosmos, then, is not a cold expanse, but a divine order, a living cathedral where every particle moves to a sacred rhythm. When the psalmist declared, "The heavens declare the glory of God," he was not speaking metaphorically. He was describing a real cosmic liturgy. Stars, planets, and galaxies participating in eternal worship through perfect obedience to divine law. Humanity stands at the threshold between heaven and earth. Below us lies matter, above us spirit. Our existence is the meeting point of two realms, and within this design lies responsibility. To govern the earth not as tyrants, but as stewards. Hierarchy is not oppression, it is structure. Just as the solar system has a sun at its center, so too does every order require a source of stability. The universe itself reflects a pattern of leadership, service, and dependence. Angels obey divine will. Humans exercise authority over nature, and nature provides for all living beings. In this way, All creation mirrors the eternal order of heaven. When this hierarchy is honored, creation flourishes. When it is defied, disorder spreads, not only in nature, but in the soul. The first sin was not merely disobedience, it was rebellion against divine order. Eve and Adam desired equality with God, and in grasping for it, they lost harmony with Him. From that moment, chaos re-entered the world. Death, decay, conflict, and confusion. Modern physics tells us that even chaos contains pattern. From the spirals of galaxies to the fractals of snowflakes, the same mathematical ratios appear again and again. Life itself is written in code, DNA, a digital script of 4 letters, composing every living being. Such precision cannot be the product of chance. It is the echo of divine reason, the logic of God made flesh and matter. In this sense, the laws of nature are not the absence of God. They are His fingerprints. To study science with humility is to trace the handwriting of the Creator. But when science seeks to dethrone its author, it becomes blind. The order of creation is not a mechanical system to control. It is a mystery to behold. True wisdom lies not in mastering creation, but in aligning ourselves with its purpose. When human ambition rebels against divine boundaries, when we exploit nature, distort gender, or redefine truth, we do not progress, we unravel. To restore order, we must return to reverence. Every moral law is rooted in creation. Just as gravity governs matter, righteousness governs the soul. Do not steal. Do not kill. Honor your father and mother. These are not arbitrary rules, but reflections of cosmic harmony. Sin, therefore, is not merely breaking a command, it is breaking the pattern. It is disharmony introduced into the music of existence. This is why moral confusion leads to personal and societal decay. The more we defy the natural order, whether through selfishness, pride, or the rejection of divine distinctions, the more chaos spreads. Disorder in the soul breeds disorder in the world, but the grace of God restores balance. Through Christ, the Word made flesh, the disordered creation finds its center again. He is the new Adam, the divine axis around which heaven and earth realign. The cross, standing between heaven and earth, is the perfect symbol of restored order, vertical for divine love, horizontal for human relationship. The story of redemption is, at its heart, the restoration of creation's order. Through sin, humanity inverted the divine hierarchy. Man sought to rule without God, woman without man, and nature without both. The result was alienation, between people, between humanity and the earth, and between creation and the Creator. Christ came not only to forgive sin, but to restructure reality. He re-established truth over lies, spirit over flesh, heaven over earth. Behold, I make all things new, He declared, not by erasing creation, but by restoring its harmony. In Him, the universe finds its rightful rhythm once more. To live in Christ, then, is to live in order. Prayer aligns the soul to heaven. Virtue restores the moral compass. Humility returns man to his rightful place as steward, not master. This is the true meaning of salvation, not escape from creation, but its perfection. The order of creation is not only to be understood, it is to be adored. To gaze upon a flower, a mountain, or a newborn child is to glimpse the logic of love that sustains the universe. Contemplation is participation. To behold order is to become part of it. The more we meditate on the structure of creation, the more we discover that it mirrors the structure of our own souls. The chaos of modern life, its noise, anxiety, and confusion, comes from forgetting this order. We live as if disconnected, as if the universe were indifferent to meaning. But every law of nature, every heartbeat, every dawn whispers the same message. You belong to a greater harmony. At the end of all things, creation will not dissolve into nothingness but be renewed. A new heaven and a new earth will arise, where every fracture is healed, and every dissonance resolves into eternal music. The divine order that began with "Let there be light" will culminate in the light that never fades. The cosmos began in divine command and will end in divine communion. And in that final order, the Creator will dwell once again with His creation, not as distant ruler but as intimate presence. The Word that formed the stars will speak to every soul, and all creation will respond in perfect harmony. To understand creation is to return to its rhythm. The world was made to reflect heaven. Humanity was made to reflect God. When we rediscover the divine order in all things, laws, gender, morality, science, and love, we rediscover the purpose of existence itself. The order of creation is not bondage, it is freedom. For freedom is not the absence of boundaries, but harmony within them. Just as music requires structure to be beautiful, so does life require divine law to be whole. Let us, then, contemplate the wisdom of the Creator who made all things in measure, number, and weight. Let us rediscover awe in the perfect architecture of the cosmos, and in doing so, let us hear once more the first and eternal voice of Genesis. And God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good.